So we're going to start by creating a new project, and it's going to be a single view application, and I'm going to name it Core Data Swift 2. I'm going to make sure that I don't have Use Core Data selected, because the whole point of this video is to show you how to add core data to a project if you didn't do it initially. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to add a data model. So click New File, Core Data, Data Model, and then Next. And you can name it anything you like, but I'm going to name it My Core Data Model and hit Create. So now we're looking at our entities. We can add an entity and change the name of it. And then we can even give it a class name and then select a module, current product module. You click plus under the attributes, add a first name attribute with a type of string, and add a last name attribute, again with a type of string. Okay, that does it for our model there. So now let's create an NSManageObject subclass. It's under the Edit menu. Make sure your entity is selected, hit Next, and Create. Okay, so it creates two files for you. It creates a class, and it creates an extension to your class. The next thing we need to do is put together our stack. So I'm going to go to the Apple website, and I'm just going to steal a little bit of code from them. Right here is their stack using the Swift 2.0 syntax. So we're going to create a new file. It's going to be a Cocoa Touch class, and I'm going to call it Data Controller. It's an NS object. Just going to overwrite their stuff with Apple's. And actually, I forgot to overwrite the default names that they have in there. I have to change data model to my core data model like I named it. And this one too. Okay, that's it for the stack. Now I'm going to seed my core data. I'm going to add a record to my core data by creating a seed method here. So seed person. And I'm going to create a managed object context of my data controller. So I forgot to use my import core data. And now I'm going to create my entity that I'm going to insert into my database. So NS entity description, insert new object for entity name, and we're going to select our person entity, and we're going to add our context to it. So now we can set our values for our entity. Remember, we have first name and last name. We set those attributes up before. It is case sensitive, so make sure that you don't put capitals in there. And I'll create one for the last name as well. Okay, and then we'll attempt to save with a try catch. And we'll catch. If there's any errors, we'll see what those are. Okay, so we'll call seed person, and we'll run it. So we're not going to see anything in our simulator, but we will add a record to core data. Okay, so the next step is to fetch the record. We're going to go ahead and just write a function called fetch. We're going to pull our manage object context out of our seed person method here, and we'll scope it to our entire class up here so we can use it in our fetch method. We'll declare person fetch, which is an NS fetch request for entity name person. And we'll do another try catch. So we're going to try to execute a fetch request on our manage object context. We're going to try to store them into an array of person. And we're just going to print out the first record and the first name if we can. And then if we can't, fatal error, bad things happened. Let's go ahead and give this a run. And nothing. That's because we never actually called our fetch method. So add that to our view did load, run it again, and there we have it.